Okay, for this next tutorial I'm going to look at creating a new ramp path for our site. So I've got this model that I made in the last tutorial. I've already gone ahead and deleted out the ramp path that we had for the in-class tutorial exercise, and I'm going to make my own. So to do that I'm going to make a zigzagging line with 14 meter long lengths, because I want my slope to be 1 to 14. Because that's the standard for wheelchair access. So to start off with, I'm going to work in the top viewport, and I'm just going to maximize that so we can see it a bit more clearly. And I'm going to create a line that a 14 meter long line by snapping to the grid points. So I'm going to turn on my snaps toggle, which is up here, and then I'm going to go to create shapes line. Now you can see that I've got that little square that's snapping to the grid points. My grid is at 1 meter intervals, you can see that down here. And I'm just going to actually start it from this center point, even though our model's a little bit in the way, but I think it's just easiest if we start from this origin point, which is where these black lines meet, because that'll just start us from the 0, 0 point. So I'm going to click on there and just drag out. Now if we look at the coordinates at the bottom of the screen, we can see how long that line is. So in the y-axis it's going 12, 13, 14. So I'm just going to drag it out till it's 14. I'm going to drag across about 3 meters and then back down again, and just keep doing that a few times just to create a zigzag path. Okay, when I'm done I'm just going to hit the escape key to stop making that line, and then I'll hit escape again to get out of the line creation. So we've just made a basic zigzag with 14 meter lengths. I'm going to modify that now, so I'm going to select it, go to the modify panel, click on that, we scroll down a little and we get our options for modifying lines: vertex, segment and spline. I showed you previously how to just move your vertices around, but in this case I'm going to use segment, which just selects each individual line. And the reason I'm doing that rather than moving my vertices is I want to make sure that the length of those segments stays the same. So I'm just now going to use my rotate tool, turn off that snap, move my rotate tool to just adjust these around. I'm going to do it quite roughly. You can be more accurate about this if you want, but for now I'm just modifying it quite roughly. So just move them apart. I'm going to make this about a 1.5 meter wide path, so I want to allow about 3 meters between them. Let's grab a couple of those segments, move them along, move that one over. Okay, and that'll probably do us. So now what I'm going to do, click on the spline, select the whole thing, and move down, scroll down till we get to outline. Click on outline, and this is kind of like offset in AutoCAD or SketchUp. I'm going to make it 1.5, so it's a 1.5 meter path, and that just creates our path for us. So if I click that off now, I'm going to scroll back up and I'm just going to unclick that, so we've come out of sub-object editing mode and we're just now in just regular editing mode. So now we've got our path, and I'll just unmaximize that so we can see things in our other views, move that over, but it's all on the same level. So the next thing, I'll go back in, I'll select my vertices this time, and I want to move these up 1 meter at 1 meter intervals, because we're looking at 1 to 14. So I'll select this first lot. Now what I'm going to do is do this as a type in transform. So I'm going to move my cursor over the move tool and hit the right mouse key. So right click and it brings up this move, transform, type in. This allows me to type in the values that I want it to move by. So I want it to move up in the Z axis by 1 meter. So I just type in 1. And that's gone up 1 meter. So the next one, we want to move up by 2 meters. The next one, we want to move up by 3 meters. And the last one, we want to move up by 4 meters. So if we just spin around that a little bit, we can now see that we've got our zigzag ramp going up at 1 to 14 slope. Let's get out of our vertex modeling mode, and we can now move that over to our house. Let's just maximize that, close that window. And we can line it up with the top of our ramp, just moving using our move and our rotate in whatever way we like. So just have it come up in line with the steps. And you can now use your tools that we've learnt previously, extrude or bevel, to make that into a solid shape of cut or fill. So I've just beveled it. Let's move that up a little. And I've got it at -2 height with an outline of 2. So we've got basically a 1-to-1 slope fill coming down, which is about 45 degrees. What is 45 degrees? Might have to make it a bit more. So there you go. That's basically how you can make a new ramp for your site.